Hi everyone, Akash this side. Today we are going to solve this problem Leetcode 2075, which is a problem of the day. Uh, Let me summarize this problem, what we have to do in this problem. This problem is regarding the decoding the slanted ciphertext. What are the ciphertexts? Ciphertexts are basically the encoded form of the original text. But we mostly use, you can say similar to the hash function. While we generate a hash function, there between a text which is used to convert this original text into the encoded text. In between this transaction, there is one moment of time where the ciphertext is used. So this is the background regarding the ciphertext, which is not necessary in this question. So let me summarize this problem for you. What we have to do is that in this problem we have to find the original text from the encoded text. In this question, it is mentioned that as you can say that encoded text is given to us, and from this encoded text we have to find our the original text from which this encoded text is generated, and the pattern uh, by using which this encoded text is generated is given here. What is given here that the original text is this original text is what happened. This original text is filled in this fashion along a grid. There is a grid present in which our original text is uh, filled. What happened that the filling of this grid is always started from this person. This is a top left cell and it moves along this arrow, along this means along this red arrow. And first, what happened? First, we fill all these blue cells. After that, we will fill all these red cells, and after that we will fill all these yellow cells. So in this fashion we will fill the cells till we do not came to at the end of our original text. As we can see here with this example, this is our original text which we have to find. The way in which this grid is filled is that first we will fill along which it is filled along this first, and after that, so this is in this fashion our original text is filled. After that we will find the summation of this row wise append we will append this characters in row wise, and we will return that sum of these appended characters, and that will be our what that will be our uh, encoded text. So the encoded text will be nothing but the sum of all the characters in row wise, or we can say the append of all the characters along the row wise. So we have to find this original text, and we have given what we have given this our encoded text along with the number of rows. So and after that, this is all given in the question. So what will be our intuition to solve this problem? This I think this is a brief summary about this problem. So first of all, if suppose as it is mentioned that we have to find the original text and we have given the encoded text. If suppose by any chance if we are able to get this grid instead of if suppose in the question instead of giving this encoded text, if the this grid is given, then we can easily find this our original text, because what we have to do after this grid, after forming this grid, nothing but we have to start our traversing from this, and we have to traverse along this blue line. And what we have to do, we have to just append all the characters which we get while traversing along this blue line. And one thing is noted that the places which are vacant have characters as a space. One space is there instead of a vacant. This vacant cell, or we can say coordinates, these vacant cells have a space instead of if there is no character there. So what we have to do? If we are able to generate this grid, then we can easily find our original text. So to generate this grid, as it is, first we need to find the number of columns. As in the question, the number of rows are given only. So to find the number of columns, what we need to do? As it is already mentioned that the encoded text, this encoded text is the sum of the characters present in a row. So this is a row-wise summation of all the characters. So this will the length of this encoded text will be nothing but the number of cells present in a group. I am clear. I think I am clear. This the length of this encoded text will be nothing but the number of cells present in this grid. As we have already given with the rows number, so by dividing with the length of this encoded text by the row, we can easily get the number of grids. And after getting the number of rows and column in the grid, we can easily find we will get this our grid. And what we do as the next step, we will start filling these characters which is given in the encoded text row wise in this grid, and which can be easily done by traversing through this grid and making one pointer here and filling all these characters corresponding to their cells in this grid. And after finding out this grid, what we have to do? We have to do nothing. We have to traverse along this arrow. After traversing along this arrow, we will sum up all the characters which we get along this while traversing along this arrow, and we will return this as a original text. But there is one catch is there. One note is also mentioned in this question is that original text does not have trailing spaces. What does it mean? As we are traversing along this arrow, this then after that we have a space, then after we have LOVE, love, then we have a space. Here we can say then we have lead code LEECTODE, then we have lead code. So here we can see that we have stopped after reaching this E. If suppose if we do not stop here, then what we will do as a next step, we will add this cell as in our original text, and this cell is nothing but it is a blank cell, or we can say empty cell, which have nothing but as a space which we add in our original text. So what will happen that we will end up adding all these three empty boxes as the three spaces in our original text, which become a trailing space in our original text. So as it is mentioned that our original text does not have any trailing spaces. So to avoid these trailing spaces, we must need where to stop while traversing along this along this blue arrow. So what happens? We need to find some condition where we need to stop while traversing along this blue arrow. So the basic logic what we say is that we have to stop where we came up with our end character of our original text. Means what I'm trying to say is that we have to stop where when we met with our met with the end character of our original text. So how we will came to know that this is our the end of our original text. So to get it that we need to maintain one variable which will count. Suppose the variable name as count. This count will does what? When we are traversing along this blue line, it count the number of characters till now we have appended. Suppose if we are at this O while traversing through this arrow. So till now we have appended our only three characters which are present in our original text. And when we came to add E, and I can see there are more than 12, or there are 12 characters present in our encoded text. As we know that the number of characters present in our encoded text will be similar to the number of characters present in our original text. So we will traverse along this encoded text to find to first to find the number of characters present in our original text. So for which we will store in the variable, let's say as a let name as a text count, or we can say letter count LCD. So while traversing through these blue arrows, we will make another variable which is count, which will store the value that the number of variable till till now or till now we have inserted in our original text, or we can say the number of characters till now we have encountered. So so the stopping condition of our traversing will be the place when the case when we get the count variable equal to the number of characters present in our encoded text, which we have already stored in a LC variable, which is a letter count variable. So that will be the that will be the case when we need to stop. As for better understanding, I have made this. Suppose as this is similar to that one, we are traversing along this. We are traversing after first the red one to find our original text. Then we are traversing along this yellow one. After that, we are traversing along this row, this diagonal. And what happened that in the case if we are not able to suppose this E is not here, what we will come up to that we will we need to stop here instead of stopping here. This in the previous example we have E here as well, but in this example we do not have. This is same problem. I love lead code example, but here instead at last we do not have it. So instead of stopping here, we need to stop here. So because if we stop here, we end up adding one extra trailing space in our original text, which we do not want. So to stop here instead of stopping here, we need that variable count, which will give us the report, or we can say which shows that the number of characters which we have encountered till now, which are present in our original text. So that is the whole point of explaining to you. After that, so let I think this question is pretty much clear to you all. Uh, so as it is given that the length of our this import text will 10 to the power 6, so we have to put this problem into with a time complexity of ON. So let's solve this problem. Let's go through the same way as I have explained to you. First we need what? First we need to find the what is the length of our encoded text. So to find the length of first we find the length of our encoded text. Then after we will find the columns, number of columns present in our grid. So this will be nothing but the and number of length of our encoded text divided by row. After that we will make what? We will make a 2D grid, which we name as vector, and that number of rows will be equal to number of rows and vector, and the number of columns will be equal to the number of columns which we have found, and all the by default will be empty space. So first of all, after that, to find out the stopping condition, we need to find the number of characters present. So let it be in a variable else, which will be equal to the 0 initially, which will be the letter count, or we can say character count, C, character length, CL, instead of CL, we will use character length. Or we can say NC, number of characters present in our encoded text. So that we will traverse along to find it, we will traverse along our encoded text, and we will find out the number of characters present. If what we do, if our encoded text dot I not equal to the blank space, in this case we will increase our number of characters variable. This will give what? This NC will give the number of characters present in our encoded text. After that, what we will do, we will form this grid. To form this grid, we will traverse along this grid, which will be equal to the number of rows here, rows, and I plus and for j equals to 0, a number of columns, j plus columns. So as to fill this grid, what we have to maintain one pointer here as well. So to get which corresponding character is going to be filled in a particular set. For that, we will make a pointer idx, which will point toward initially the original at the 0th index of our input text. So what we will do, we will vector of I is j equals to, we will do what? We will do encoded text of I, instead of I, it will be idx, and we will increase our idx value. Okay. So we have till now we have formed this grid. After forming this grid, what we have to do? We have nothing to do. We have to make another variable string which will show our original text, which will be initially blank. So we have to traverse along this arrow to find our original text. So what we have to do? We have to maintain one initially index initially 0, and we will maintain three variables. OG is nothing but old j value. OG is equal to old j value. So what we have to do? We have to traverse along this. As we have as I have mentioned earlier, that we have to maintain one count variable, which will show the number of counts. We have number of characters which we have faced till now. So what was the our stopping condition while our count value is not equals to it's not equals to what? It's not equal to number of let and say number of what there count of our characters present in our encoded text. So we will this will be our stopping condition. So how we will traverse along this? So as we have maintained these two variables, start here. So while jumping from one cell to another while traversing on this blue line, we are increasing each time our value I and j with 1. And when we end up here, we will again came back here and we will start our I value with 0 and j value will be the j plus 1 of its original j value. As its original j was 0, so the now the next j will become oj plus 1, which will be equal to 1. So again, we will while traversing this, we will increase this I and j variable by 1. So while what we will do while what to while because to what we do because to prevent the overflow, we need to add these two condition as well while I less than equal to row and j less than equal to rows. And one thing is need to be added that it might be possible that our count will become equal to the number of characters present in between. So this one extra condition need to be added. So what we will do, we will our and this original text plus equal to what our this vector I comma j. And if if our vector I j is not equal to any space, in that case we will increase our count variable also. Okay. And once we came out of this first traverse, what we have to do, we have to make I is equal to 0 again, and j will be nothing but old j plus 1. And now our old j will become what we have to do is we have to og plus 1. We have to increase our og. Okay. Og will become og plus 1 and we will increase our og value. Okay, this will be the all I think, and after that we will our return our original text. I think this is the all which we need to do. In the case if we our become I think this is the all. Let run this. Okay, why it is getting filled? Output we are only oh, we are not increasing. I think our IDX value. So one thing which we have missed is we are not increasing our I and j value here. So one thing which we have missed is this part. Right there, we have not increased our I and j value. Okay. What is this? OG is equal to OG plus 1. Okay. There was one problem which we have. There was instead of writing their columns, I have write their rows. So that was the problem. Okay. So I think it is out moving out. Okay. And after that, if you will submit this problem, uh, this will get accepted. Okay. Thank you.